Welcome to Unveiling Mythical Legends. Hello everyone. No matter if it's morning, afternoon, or night where you are, I want you to close your eyes for a moment and imagine a scene. Maybe a moment you've actually experienced before, one that made your heart skip a beat. Before we start, remember to subscribe, hit like, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our episodes.
Okay, I have a scene in mind. Is it one of those little unexpected moments?
Exactly. Picture a leisurely weekend morning. You're sitting at a riverside cafe, or at your familiar wooden dining table at home. Sunlight filters through the blinds, warmly illuminating the tabletop. The air carries the aroma of freshly brewed tea. You reach for your favorite ceramic cup, maybe one you picked carefully, handmade, warm and comfortable to hold.
Yes, I can feel my fingers touching the warmth of the cup.
Then in that instant, perhaps your hand slips, or your elbow nudges it. The cup falls from your grasp, gravity showing no mercy. It crashes to the floor with a shattering sound. Pieces scatter, tea spills. In that moment, doesn't your heart feel shattered too?
Completely shattered. Looking at the broken pieces, I feel panicked and regretful.
Right. But let's pause and treat this as a thought experiment. Imagine your eyes are like a high-resolution camera recording this scene. You hit the rewind button. What do you see?
The cup magically restoring itself?
Yes. Imagine the absurdity. The tea flows back into the cup, the shards leap back into place, even the rising steam returns. Like magic in Harry Potter, or a sci-fi scene from Nolan's Tenet. Your body instinctively resists it, because your intuition tells you this is impossible.
Exactly, my mind keeps rejecting it. This just can't happen.
And that's the point. The universe allows the cup to fall and break, but strictly forbids it from spontaneously restoring itself. This isn't just the cup's fate, it's a question of time and thermodynamics. Today we're going to explore a story that stretches from a broken cup to the universe, life, memory, and the future, a journey called the Arrow of Time. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on the bell so you won't miss the exciting content ahead.
Wow, what a cool opening. I'm already curious how you're going to explain time.
Let's start with a key concept, disorder, which physicists call entropy. In the 19th century, the Austrian physicist Ludwig Boltzmann devoted his life to revealing a harsh truth: everything tends to go from order to disorder.
So it's like if we don't tidy our room, it naturally becomes messy, right?
Exactly. If you don't put in the effort, things get chaotic. If you want order, it requires energy, time, and sweat. That's nature telling us, chaos is the default state, order is rare and comes at a cost. The cup was originally an ordered structure. When it breaks, its energy disperses as sound and heat. This is the evolution from low entropy to high entropy. If you want the pieces to spontaneously reassemble, thermodynamically, it's strictly forbidden.
So this isn't just a law of physics, it actually shapes our intuition about time. Once the cup is broken, it can't go back.
Exactly. Because entropy only increases, we can feel the flow of time, from past to future, always forward, like a sword that can't be drawn back. Even if particles in the microscopic world move in a time-symmetric way, the macroscopic world is irreversible. That's because macroscopic objects are made of so many particles that the probability of spontaneously returning to an ordered state is vanishingly small.
So the world we see is a probability-determined inevitability. Chaos is far more likely than order. That's why broken cups stay broken and time always moves forward.
Exactly. And this gives life its meaning. Because irreversibility exists, we cherish the present. Even if the universe eventually reaches heat death, a state of maximum entropy where everything is uniform and lifeless, our local order, our memories, our love, are sparks that resist entropy.
I can't help but ask, if entropy governs the arrow of time, does the same apply to particles in the microscopic world?
That's the interesting part. Microscopic particles don't care about the direction of time at all. Imagine shrinking down to the size of an atom and observing two gas molecules colliding in the air. They bounce off each other, and if you play the clip backward, it doesn't violate any physical laws.
So the physical rules in the microscopic world are symmetric and time can flow backward freely?
Exactly. Newton's laws, quantum mechanics, they're all time-symmetric on the microscopic level. The puzzle is why macroscopic objects, made of countless microscopic particles, like that cup, display such strong irreversibility.
Sounds like a bunch of undisciplined little soldiers somehow forming an army that can only march forward.
That's the magic of probability and statistics. Boltzmann pointed out that, in theory, a broken cup could spontaneously reassemble, if all the air molecules collided just perfectly, pushing the heat back into the shards and restoring them onto the table.
Wow, theoretically possible, but in reality?
In reality, the probability is virtually zero. Imagine a glass of water with quintillions of molecules. For them to coordinate a reverse motion, even if you waited from the birth of the universe until its end, it almost certainly wouldn't happen. That's why we only observe entropy increasing in the macroscopic world, and the arrow of time moves forward.
So each of us is like a time traveler, in this gigantic statistical game, forced along an irreversible one-way street.
Exactly. And that's why we can distinguish past from future. We can only remember the past because it leaves traces of low entropy, whereas the future hasn't happened yet, entropy hasn't increased, so the brain can't capture it.
So memory formation is also part of entropy increase?
Precisely. Every time you remember something, your brain forms neural connections, which consumes energy and releases heat into the surroundings. See? To preserve order in your memories, we inevitably accelerate disorder around us.
So our thoughts, memories, and the civilizations we build are basically pockets of order, side effects of overall entropy increasing?
Exactly. When we build cities, write poetry, invent technology, we create fleeting miracles against entropy, but the price is an accelerated chaos for the universe as a whole. Life and civilization are, in essence, catalysts for the universe to release energy.
Wow. So we're not just time travelers, we're accomplices in entropy increase too.
Haha, that's a vivid way to put it. Every time you brew a perfect cup of tea or love someone, you're momentarily swimming upstream, but eventually, the river still flows to the sea. That's the cruel and beautiful nature of the arrow of time.
But can we ever really reverse time? Like time machines in movies or in the quantum realm?
Theoretically, the equations of general relativity don't entirely close the door on time travel. If you could create a wormhole, or get close to a supermassive black hole, your passage of time might slow, creating a kind of forward time travel. But going back into the past bumps into the grandfather paradox.
Grandfather paradox?
If you went back and killed your grandfather as a young man, you wouldn't be born, so how could you go back to kill him? This paradox led physicist Stephen Hawking to propose the chronology protection conjecture, suggesting the universe has a built-in mechanism to prevent time machines from existing.
So it's like the universe has an automatic safety feature to protect history.
Exactly. He even did a humorous experiment, sending party invitations to future time travelers after the party ended. No one showed up. It's both funny and serious. The universe doesn't let us casually change the past.
So what will the universe ultimately become? And what meaning do our efforts have?
It's a vision both magnificent and a little sorrowful. Imagine the arrow of time moving ever forward. All stars burn out their last fuel, turning into white dwarfs, neutron stars, and eventually cooling into black dwarfs. Black holes devour everything nearby and slowly evaporate, while matter structures completely disintegrate. At that point, the universe will have no temperature differences, no energy flows, only cold, darkness, and emptiness. Entropy reaches its maximum, disorder peaks, no events occur, and even time itself loses meaning.
That sounds like an eternal sleep, everything dissolving. So doesn't that make everything we do now meaningless?
Actually, it's the opposite. Because time is irreversible, because this moment slips away, we gain meaning. Like that shattered ceramic cup, it can never go back, but it's this irreversibility that makes each present moment precious. The finiteness of life and time gives value to every action, every encounter, every love.
So because we know the cherry blossoms will fall, the viewing becomes beautiful. Because we know all meetings end in parting, every embrace feels warm?
Exactly. This is the Japanese concept of mono no aware, and also the most romantic interpretation of the law of entropy. Limited time, limited order, this is what makes every moment shine.
Then what can we do? Facing the cold fate of the universe, what can we still create?
What we can do is create pockets of order within chaos. You can write a poem, arranging scattered words into rhythm, brew a perfect cup of tea, harmonizing water molecules and tea leaves into fragrance, love someone, forming a profound connection amid the vast crowd. These are proofs of our courage, our defiance of entropy, of oblivion, of nothingness.
It sounds like a broken cup is just like our life. Irreversible, yet we can carefully mend it.
Exactly, just like the Japanese art of kintsugi, where broken pieces are joined with gold, turning the cracks into a unique history. It reminds us, we can't go back, but we can carry our scars and move forward into a more vivid, unregretful path. Every moment is worth cherishing, and every act of creation is a small victory against chaos.
So, the meaning of life isn't about changing the direction of the universe, but about how we burn our light along this arrow of time.
That's right. We are fleeting sparks in the universe. Although we cannot stop entropy, we can make each moment shine, make every relationship meaningful, and leave traces through every creation. This is all we can truly possess, and it's the gift the universe gives us.
Wow, after hearing this, even if a cup breaks, it no longer feels like just a loss. It's a reminder to cherish the present.
Exactly. So next time you accidentally break a cup, don't just feel sad. Treat it as a live lesson from the universe. It's telling you, history is irreversible, and every moment is worth loving and creating. Bend down, carefully clean up, and maybe repair it with gold, leaving a mark that's uniquely yours. This is the gentle teaching of time.
Friends, if you enjoy content that explores time, the universe, and the philosophy of life, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends so more people can think deeply alongside us.